Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Bug Out Bag series. This is going to be the spouse edition. Now, a spouse could be anybody. I'm married to a woman. I have a beautiful, lovely wife that we've been married for quite a few years, and we have a 2-year-old son. Now, this is going to be extremely personal to the person, and there's a lot of different equations that are going to go into this bag. Now, my wife is not military. She's not overly athletic. I mean, you know, she's thin and she works out, but she's not an athlete. She doesn't have any military experience. I do take her hiking with me, and she really enjoys the hikes. But other than that, most people that have a corporate job usually tend to work behind a desk and don't get as much exercise as let's say, everybody else. Now, that being said, putting an arduous, huge bag on someone like that's back and telling them to go survive is ridiculous. That it will never work, and if you're married to that person, you probably won't be by the end of that excursion. Okay, so also you have to understand that because we have a child, most women, in my opinion, will tend to care more for that child than they will care for their own selves. All right, that's the mom and dad syndrome. That's what they do. So it's always going to be about his needs first before her own personal needs, and that's a lot of sacrifice. Okay, in the military, what we used to do is we had a corpsman, all right, a Navy corpsman, which is the medic that would travel with our squad. Now, his job was to keep Marines alive. He had to carry all of his medical kit, plus his pistol or his rifle, his own armor. He also had to carry a any type of day pack or whatever the case is. So he's triple loaded with stuff. So in order for us to help him out, what we had to do was spread load his gear. Okay, so somebody would carry his maybe, I don't know, whatever, his comm gear or sleeping gear or whatever the case is. He would always have his pistol, his medical kit, his radio if we had one. Most of the time we just didn't even have a radio at the time. He would always carry a poncho liner, and some food and water, but his idea weight was overmaxed because as combat fighters we were always trained for combat, and we had a little bit IFAC. We had an IFAC, that was it. Things have changed throughout the years, but I think the idea of spread loading your kit in a family environment makes sense. Now, I have a large pack for myself, and of course I would put my family in it in order to keep them warm, and I would do the same for, I'm sure you would do the same for your family. However, a grab it and go kit is something that that person's going to need to survive. If your spouse is like mine, which she cannot carry a whole lot of weight, you have to gear it towards their body type, towards their exercise level, and of course if they're on any medication and such like that. So what I decided to do was to create a kit, obviously with her input, and to make sure that she was able to carry this kit. I would not go any more than 25 to 40 pounds. I think 40 pounds is probably pushing it for most females, especially if they got to carry a baby. So I think you might want to back that off a little bit. However, the 4 C's, the 4 core elements still need to be met. So fire, water, shelter, and food. All that has to be met. If you can't meet those needs, it doesn't matter how much you care for somebody else, they won't make it. All right, so fire, water, food, and shelter are essential no matter what you do. Okay, now again, this is the bug out bag that I used, and for her, it's made by Spec Ops. I don't know which model it is, but it's a Spec Ops brand. Okay, you can see it's Spec Ops brand. It has quite a bit of space in this thing. It doesn't have a lot of the military type items you would have on here, or, you know, I know there's a lot better packs made. Ideally, she did have a hiking pack, and we do go hiking a lot, but I wanted something that was more subdued. I don't think bright green is going to be ideal if you're trying to hide out. So the hiking packs are great, but they're made for hiking. They're not made for long-term survival or ruggedness. This pack is. Okay, so it has a mesh pocket on the inside, has an admin pouch up top, and it has a lower pouch on the bottom, YKK zippers. It does have the thing for the the hole in the top for the camelback. It also has the waist belt, adjustable shoulder straps. All right. I don't know the name of this. If you go up to Spec Ops, I'm pretty sure you can find it. This is an older bag, so I know they make newer ones now that are a lot prettier, etc. All right. Just briefly, like, what I want to say honestly is if you have somebody that you're worried about and they don't know what to put in their bug out bag, but you do, hopefully this video will help. This is the reason why I'm making this video, is to spread the knowledge, spread the word, and hopefully get some good feedback. If they don't know what they're doing, you know, don't be a jerk about it. You know, there's no reason to carry pumps or 3 pairs of shoes in a kit like that. All right, you're potentially going to safety. That's the idea. You're leaving your house or your apartment or wherever, or your work, and you're going to a place of safety, and in that time from A to B they need to have enough kit in there to make sure that they're warm, to make sure that they're fed, make sure that they're hydrated, and all their medical needs are met. Okay, so let's talk about keeping it simple. When I mean simple, I mean if you have someone that's not someone that's in the know, I like to make things very simple. Now this is, I believe, it's not made by, it might be made by Nalgene. You could get these on Amazon. Basically it's a water filter that's already connected inside of a plastic bottle. All right, it has a snap cap on it. It's not very big, but what I like about this is it's simple. If you need to get dirty water in here, you can clean it. You don't have to do anything about it. You just snap the thing and it comes right up. It's great. Clean canteen, could boil water in it. Nice stainless steel cup, nesting cup. Obvious reasons for that. Okay. Also a water system. This is the Sawyer Mini with the straw and the bag, and I like it tight like this because it's really small and compact and you can put it pretty much anywhere. The reason behind this is because there is a camelback or a camelback water bladder inside that pack, and if I needed to, what you can do is you can connect this directly up to the hose, and you don't have to worry about filtering your water anymore. Okay. Same thing as you guys seen in the other videos. I create a food pack. All right, this is just a squad automatic weapon bag. This is for ammunition. All right, it's military surplus. It's made of Condora. It used to carry 200 rounds of belt-fed ammunition. Now it carries food. The reason I go with something like this is very simple. I like to have a plastic bag and then Condora over it, because the plastic bag will keep things fresh, it'll keep it tight and keep it waterproof, but the Condora will keep it from ripping. If you put this inside the bag with all these other little pointy sharp things, what's going to happen is the bag will start to rip. Condora protects it from that. Alright, inside here I also have my titanium spoon, or Spork. Alright, so that's for the missus when she wants to make her food. There's about 6 meals in here, and they are 2 servings per. I try to pick her favorites out. She's a big fan of cereal and stuff, so I put the cereal ones in here for her. All right, that's what a good husband does, is he looks out for his wife. All right. Let's talk about some of the hygiene products. Now, when it comes to females, I know they like to be clean, and we like them to be clean, obviously. So I didn't take any of the hygiene stuff out. I kind of left it all in there because that's what she wanted, so whatever. Inside here is a regular travels kit. You can take this out and put it in a plastic bag, and I have done that before, but like I said before, is that what happens is it gets all beat up, and honestly the plastic bag will start to rip and all that other stuff. So ladies' razors, you know, I got toothpaste, toothbrush, hand sanitizer, some sunscreen, obviously some DEET, and then this side shampoo, deodorant, soap, that kind of thing. All right, so very basic. Also has a nail file, also has a hairbrush, all that kind of great stuff. Okay, because like I said, I don't know how long we're going to be on the move to go to our destination, but at least when we get there we have some hygiene products. All right, baby wipes, a whole thing of baby wipes for obvious reasons. Like I said, we have a 2-year-old. He's not out of diapers yet, so we got to make sure that not only for us, but at least she has enough baby wipes. All right. 2 bandanas. Like I said, I always try to put these are cravats. These are green cravats. OD green. You can use them for sweat. You can clean up with them. You can use them as a washcloth. And of course, if you got to use the bathroom, you can use them as well. All right. Feminine napkins. Obvious reasons. You know, whatever your spouse decides is necessary or how many is necessary, that's completely up to her. You know, I don't know how long I'm going to be gone. I don't know what's going to happen. So, you know, my wife's pretty regular, so we got to make sure that we have that stuff available. Simple as that. As far as first aid kits, this is a small Johnson & Johnson first aid kit. I have a lot of stuff in here that is for boo-boo ouch stuff, sprained ankles, you know, stomach problems, headaches. I also have a tourniquet in here. I also have a H&H bandage in case there are bigger wounds that we have to worry about. And again, it's in this nice big nice big red bag with the red cross on it that says Johnson & Johnson, which pretty much means first aid kit. Okay, so anybody can see that and distinguish it from this. They know it's a first aid kit. If I say get the medical kit, they're going straight to that. Okay. As far as lighting options, very simple. Again, you guys know that I like the light sticks. These are 12-hour light sticks. There are 4 of them. You snap them once, you use them for 12 hours, and then once they're done, they are done. I also have a headlamp here. They take AAA batteries. This is made by Energizer. You can use a red lens. This has SOS on it. It also has 2 different bright settings. Okay, this is hers, and I keep it in a Ziploc bag so it doesn't get wet. Fire kit, very simple. You guys have seen this before. These go in every single bag I have. I have a candle. I have 4 to 5 cubes for quick light, Bic lighter, and a magnesium fire striker bar. All right, excellent piece of kit there. As far as map and compass, the compass is inside the survival kit, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I have a folded up version of the state, and I have some writing material here with a golf pencil and a memorandum book, and the map is back here. And the reason I have it nice and small and compact like that is because, again, I don't want to overburden someone that is not used to carrying a lot of weight. At least if they have a compass, they know where they're going, right? This is something that I thought was pretty cool. It was it's a U.S. Army Survival, the card set, Department of the Army. It's kind of like, I don't know how else to say it other than it's not playing cards, but basically what you do is you can go through them, how to build a fire, a teepee, a lean-to, and it gives you directions on the back. So I thought it was kind of a cheeky way of you know, learning survival skills, and for somebody that doesn't really like to do this type of stuff, I thought it was kind of easy for someone to learn in a fun way. And you could, like, you know, if you're bored, you can test each other. I know my son loves flashcards, so maybe he'll pick up some stuff in a survival deck. And obviously for reference, I thought that this was a pretty cool idea. I saw it on Amazon.com and I just got it, and I figured if somebody really didn't want, or, you know, want to break open a book, at least we have this nice little survival card deck set. So it's pretty cool. All right, relatively cheap. All right, survival kit. Now, this is probably the only bag that you'll see that I will have a dedicated survival kit. And you saw all the other bags so far, and the bag itself is a survival kit. But here, I wanted to put something all together, something that makes it simple. Inside here, I have a survival bandana, which has some printed information as far as how to tie ropes, how to find the North Star, that kind of thing. It has a water bag, it has another lighter, duct tape, fishing kit, snare wire, an extra cutting tool, a whistle, a mirror. It also has a Mylar blanket in there, and another compass. All right, so the idea behind this kit is that it's waterproof, it's shockproof, and if everything else gets lost, I know that she can pick this up, and it says on it, survival kit, pick this up, go to a location, and hopefully call for help or signal for help with that kit itself. It's not necessary. I know some people use it, some people don't. That's completely up to you. Okay. This is a fish spreader. I'm sorry, fish mouth spreader. And what this is used for, if you don't know, is when you are trying to heat up your water, you could put this inside here, and what that does is it makes a nice bail for your hot water. Additionally, you can use this to pick up your hot water bottle so you don't burn your hands. I keep this in here specifically for that reason. You can get them on Amazon as well. It's really not a big deal, but I think the Pathfinder School has like a different version of that works a little bit better, but again, on Amazon.com it's not hard to find. As far as a multi-tool, this is her Leatherman Juice. I purchased this for her a little bit ago. This is the XE6. Small knife on it. It has a pliers on it. Okay, really cool. Corkscrew, all kinds of fun stuff on here. Has a lot of tools for being such a little device. And let's see. It's got a knife, it's got scissors, it's got a serrated blade, it's got all kinds of great tools on here. It's got a can opener, bottle opener. Alright, so if you're interested in this, like I said, as far as multi-tool goes, I didn't want to overburden her with big heavy tools, so I got something small. Knife sharpener, keep it simple, right? This is a Smith's carbide coarse on one side, fine on the other. One's carbide, one's ceramic. It's very simple. You just take your knife, slide it through a couple times, and it will make it sharp. As far as the knife, good old Mora in pink. This is Light My Fire. I think I told you guys about this in my other videos. What I like about this, it is a stainless steel, so there is no maintenance on this, or very little maintenance. And on the back, it does have a fire striker with a lanyard, so it makes it very simple to carry fire. And like I said, as far as wood processing and stuff like that, that's probably not going to be her chore, that's going to be my chore. But as far as game, cutting up food, fish, that kind of thing, this is about the right size for that. This will do any kind of camp chore that you need it to do. Plus it's super lightweight, and because it's pink, it doesn't really match with anything in the surrounding area. So if you drop this, you'd be able to find it. I always like to put a saw because I don't believe that my wife is very good at swinging an axe, but a saw, for a lot of reasons, is a great tool, and this is super light. The Tobacco Laplander, easy to cut trees, twigs, whatever the case is. You don't need my supervision for any of this. You're not swinging a 2-pound axe over your head. But to do light chores, it's great, and it's great to have a backup if you need it. There's not going to be any type of chopping tool in here, obviously, for the reasons I said, that it's a small pack, it doesn't have a lot of things in it, it just has enough to get her by, okay? Let's talk about shelter. Shelter is going to include a lot of clothing. Now, when it comes to clothing, I think every female wants to throw a pair of jeans in there, which is the worst thing you can do, alright? So, no jeans. It's got to be some type of synthetics. Now, I don't have any change of underwear or anything like that because, like I said, the space is limited. So I had to go with outer garments. All right, outer garments that are going to protect her feet, protect her head, protect her hands. Whatever she's wearing that day, that's the way it's got to be until we get to a better location, or I augment some of my clothes. Which, if you have a girlfriend or a wife, then you know how that is anyway. So, very simply, 2 drum liners. That's going to be for the shelter. Everybody knows about drum liners, but what I decided to do is give her a set of my Arctic socks. These are Carhartt Arctic socks. They're good for, I think, -20. Excellent heavy-duty wool socks. You can use them for your hands, you can use them for your feet, you can tie them around your head for earmuffs if you wanted to, and they're wool, okay? So they're very good. As far as gloves go, these are synthetics. These are 100% polyester, and I'm looking for the insulation. 100% insulation. It doesn't really say what they are, but they are, let's see, okay, they're 40-gram insulated. These are 40-gram insulated. They're not made for picking up pots and stuff like that. They're made for gloves that you can walk around in the cold if you need to, and your hands will be protected. She likes purple, so she has purple, okay? Alright, this is the Balaclava. Alright, it covers your head, it covers your neck. It is a insulated, comfortable type of hoodie. if you will. I like this a lot better than just the Scully cap, because Scully cap doesn't really cover your neck, and I think that something this lightweight, it's made out of fleece and it's extremely comfortable. All right. As far as core temperature, this happens to be a commando sweater. All right, this one is size 38. It's 100% wool. Now again, this is mine. All right, this is not one of hers. If she wants to augment this for, like, so let's say a fleece, that's fine, but I find that wool, even if it gets wet, is still warm. And what you're going to run into a lot if it's wet and cold is you're going to need something to keep you as warm as possible, and wool does that. Just make sure it's 100% wool. Doesn't matter the color, whatever the case, but I know that if I have this in here, she's not going to hurt from hypothermia. Okay. This is just regular white leather gloves. This is for when she is cooking or she needs to take a hot pan or pot out of the fire. These are heavy duty leather gloves. Those are good to go. She won't burn herself. And this is a chamois, obviously in pink. Again, it doesn't have to be in pink. I think I buy her more pink stuff than she actually appreciates. I think she likes purple more, but what the hell. At least we know which which chamois who is whose, all right? Mine's going to be OD green and tan. Hers are going to be pink. So, all right, so let's talk about the shelter itself. I already spoke about 2 drum liners. No matter what, just put them in your pack. You can use them for insulation if you need to, water gathering. You can use them as a raincoat if you need to. Whatever the case, these things are invaluable. All right. As far as a ground tarp, and it's not really a ground tarp, this is a sleeping mat. This is super lightweight. This is actually high end. So, but what it's good about it is that not only is it high end, but it's super lightweight. This is made by Neo Air. It is a Therm-A-Rest Neo Air, and this thing is like super lightweight, tiny. And if I was like an ultra weight packer, what do they call that? Ultra light hiker. This is probably something what I would want. A Neo Air, they call it. I mean, this thing is like super lightweight and not heavy at all. Now when it comes to shelter, I could have went with a tarp, but again, like I said, my wife is not someone that practices the art of bushcraft, all right? Her idea of a hike is one day in and that's it, we're done. So what I decided to do is get the Aqua Quest one-man bivvy. Now if you haven't seen these, look it up. I'm not going to pull it out, but what it is, it's essentially a bivy sack that has a steel rod going down the center, so it's like a long taco. You set up the taco, you set up your bag and your iso mat or whatever, and you slide it inside, and then you slide your sleeping bag or whatever bag you're going to use to sleep in, and this thing is 100% waterproof. So no matter what the case is, no matter where you're sleeping, if you're sleeping on the ground or on an incline, or you will stay 100% dry in this. All right, so it's excellent. Look it up. It's the Aqua Quest dry bag system. It's a one-person sleeping bag. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, why did you go with that instead of a tarp? And here's the thing, keep it simple, okay? I know with a little bit of instruction or direction, she can figure this out. If I had to tell her how to set up a A-frame tarp or, you know, a lean-to tarp, she's going to look at me like I had 3 heads. This makes sense in most modern world. Old world or old school, where you set up tents in different configurations or tarps in different configurations, don't make sense to most people. I could give her this, the instructions are inside, she could figure it out, done deal. Now, when I went with a blanket, originally I had in here an SOL bivy, and the SOL bivy is fine, but it's made of that space age plastic aluminum, which is not an insulating value. It'll keep you warm in temperate weathers, but when it's freezing out, it will not keep you warm. So what I have in here is the Wooby. This is the military Wooby USMC poncho liner. That's it, and I have it in a dry bag or a wet bag or whatever they call this. But this thing with a wool sweater with a hat, hand cover, and some wool socks, and you're going to be pretty toasty inside. Not to mention you have a waterproof cocoon. So again, This is probably about as warm and dry as I can get it, and make it as simple as I can get it, specifically for my spouse. Alright guys, so that's about it. I hope you appreciate it. Like I said, this is the spouse edition. You know, a lot of this is going to be very subjective. I can tell you for a fact, depending on where you live, how far you think you're going to go, it's not a 72-hour pack. It's not, you know, it's one of those things where if you had something to evacuate, like if there was a flood or a fire or something, you had to get out of the area, at least you would have some shelter, some water, some food, and a little bit of supplies to keep yourself warm. All right, that's the idea behind this kit. It is not all-encompassing. It's not going to have everything that you would put in it, because I know someone's going to say you should put this, that, and the other thing in it. Doesn't always work that way, okay? So when it comes to spouses, especially someone that is not familiar or does not really care about any type of survival preparedness, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to pack, okay? I just wanted to have this and put this out there. I know if you guys are interested, please go up to threeriverblades.com. Check out all the knives that I have up there. Help support me, help support the channel. Thank you very much, and stay safe.